and welcome back to the Little Blessed Homeschool YouTube channel. For those of you just joining us, my name is Jenna. I am a homeschool mom, stay-at-home mom of two beautiful girls. And in today's video, I am going to be discussing our daily, weekly routine that we do. So stay tuned. Hi, so in today's video, I want to discuss our daily, weekly routine. And the reason I call it a routine and not a schedule is because one thing that we don't do in our homeschool is we don't get up in the morning and do schoolwork right away. It's just not something that we strive to do. When we very first started homeschooling, I had this stigma in my brain that we had to get up every morning and go straight to schoolwork or we wouldn't get it done, and we had to do it, and it was very important. And after the first year, I realized that the reason we homeschool is for the freedom of doing it how we want to do it, and that I don't have to do that. So we have a routine now that we follow every day, but the time might be different every day. So first of all, my daughter has a lot of activities during the week. On Monday nights, she has American Heritage Girls. Tuesday nights, she goes to her coding class. Wednesday mornings, she does bowling with a private coach. Thursdays, we have our homeschool group, and then my youngest daughter has gymnastics. And then Fridays is kind of our free day. And so the first thing that we do is we wake up in the morning, and usually I myself do not wake up until about 8:30. And the reason for this is I said in a couple videos that I run a small business out of my home, and I work after dinner when the kids are going to bed. And so I work pretty late sometimes. Sometimes my business is super busy and sometimes it's super slow. But on the busy days, sometimes I'm at work till like 2 in the morning. So I sleep in till about 8:30, depending on how late I was up working. And we get up, we get dressed, we have breakfast, and then we go into our schoolwork. And the first thing that we do is my oldest daughter will go up to her room after breakfast, and she will read in her chapter book for 20 minutes. And then while she's doing that, my youngest and I do some preschool work. And that can vary between a lot of different things. But for the most part, we do lessons in her pre-K course book. And then after we're done with that, my oldest daughter comes downstairs and we do language arts. And language arts is from The Good and the Beautiful. And then she also does writing out of her Essentials in Writing notebook. And then once we are done, like, the language arts takes a while because it's language arts, reading, and her writing. We usually finish in about 45 minutes with that. And then we take a break. Now, depending on what time it is, sometimes if we don't start book work until 10, 11 o'clock, we might eat lunch. It really depends on what time it is. If it's still a little early for lunch, then we'll have a snack. But we always have a 20 to 30 minute break in between language arts and then our next subject. And our next subject is usually math. Most of the time it's math. And math, her lessons right now take between 25, 35 minutes or so. And then once we're done with math, we move straight into our unit studies. So we do science 2 days a week, and then we do history the other 2 days. Now, every week that changes. Sometimes on Monday, Wednesday, we do science, and then Tuesdays and Fridays, we do history, or vice versa. Thursdays, we always are at our co-op all day. And so we are there from 9 in the morning till about 2:30 in the afternoon. And so we actually, on co-op days, do no formal book work unless we need to catch up on something that we maybe missed a couple days before or something. But for the most part, homeschool group is dedicated to homeschool group day. We do not do any formal actual work on those days. And our homeschool group only runs in the fall and the spring, and for each semester it's only 12 weeks, I believe, 12 or 13 weeks, depending on if there's any makeup classes towards the end. But as soon as we are done with our math, we move right into our science or our history, whichever one it is for that day. And then my daughter does, as soon as we're done with those, usually those lessons are between 35, 40 minutes, just depending on the lesson of that day. And then my daughter either does her typing lessons or she goes up to her room and she does math computer games on Prodigy Math for her free time. And then the rest of the afternoon is just left for what my children want to do. They can either color, they can paint. Sometimes they just go upstairs and play in their rooms together. I mean, that's always what they do. And then usually that's when I do a lot of my housework. Now, my kids don't do necessarily chores. I don't like the word chores, and I don't like giving my kids chores because I feel like the word chore is just like not a good word. And so we pick up the house together sometimes. We will, if the house is looking a little rough, we will pitch in and I'll help, and we will pick up the living room, pick up the kitchen, pick up our rooms, make our beds, stuff like that. And usually we do that before we start schoolwork after breakfast. But for the most part, if we do it, it's kind of later in the afternoon as well. And then we also do a lot of baking together and cooking. And so after our book work is done and we have some time in the afternoon, we might bake some cookies. We might bake a cake. We might, and I let the girls do it all themselves. And then the rest of the day is just free time for what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. And most of the time, my daughter, because she is really big into games and coding, she usually goes and practices, what she learned in coding class on her computer for the rest of the day. My younger daughter will go into a room and play with her dolls or something. But that is typically our day. I mean, we do actual physical book work maybe 2 to 3 hours depending on how my children take it that day. But for the most part, it usually is 2 to 3 hours of actual book work that we do during the day. And then before homeschool group, if we're not currently in session with homeschool group, we only homeschool Monday through Thursday. We take Fridays off completely. That's either reserved for field trips, play dates at the park, getting together with our friends, something like that. Or it is a catch-up day. If something didn't get done during the week, which we try not to do, we might do it on Friday if we will. But usually Fridays, when we don't have homeschool group, is a free day. And the reason I do that is because I feel that a 4-day school day is sufficient enough. And also, here's another thing. We homeschool after the Tuesday after Labor Day to the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. And the reason that we do that is because my children absolutely adore summer. That is their favorite season. They love summer, and we just have so much going on during the summer that I've decided that we are only going to homeschool September through May. And I know a lot of other homeschool moms that start in August and then go all the way through May, and they take more breaks throughout the year. We as a family made the decision after the first year that we were going to take less breaks throughout the year, and we were going to start school the Tuesday after Labor Day, and we were going to end school the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. This year we're ending 2 days earlier because my husband and I are going to the homeschool conference in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which starts on Thursday before Memorial Day weekend. So we're actually ending our school year on Wednesday, but that we just decided not to take as many breaks throughout the year. And we always take the week off for Thanksgiving, and then we take off 2 weeks around Christmas, and then we do have spring break. Now we do spring break in relation to Easter, or we try to in relation to Easter. I know a lot of other people do it in March, and I just don't think it's warm enough. I mean, even in North Carolina, it's pretty cold, and my kids like to go do things on spring break. So we're actually taking our spring break starting the weekend of Easter this year. And then we'll take that whole week off, and we'll probably go to the beach or, do some fun stuff like that. But that, you know, in the state of North Carolina, our state law says that we have to homeschool 9 months out of the year consecutively with breaks within those 9 months. And that is September through May. So that's what we decided to do. And we take, like I said, we take less breaks. We don't take off like Martin Luther King Day. We don't take that off. We do work. And sometimes it's very light work, but we still do work. And then we have to allow for field trips as well. Like we're doing a field trip this Friday, which my kids are super excited about. And we have one more field trip in April coming up that we're going to do. And actually, I'm going to do a video later once we finish all our field trips for the year. And I'm going to do a video of all the field trips we took this year so you can see what kind of things we do on our field trips. So anyway, that is our daily routine. And again, I don't call it a schedule because we don't get up at 8 a.m., start school by 9, we do lunch at this time. Honestly, the reason it's a routine is because we do preschool first, language arts next, break, math, and then history or science, and then our extras after that. And we do that pretty much every day. It's always the same in a row every single day. Now, another thing is next year, because my youngest one is going to be actually focusing on preschool this year, we just kind of introduced it, but next year she's actually going to sit down with the preschool curriculum, a real one, and do preschool. We're actually going to change our daily routine a little bit, but I'm going to do another video closer to the next school year on what that change is going to be. So anyway, that is today's video. If you like my videos, you can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, comment below. You can also follow me on Instagram at Little Blessed Homeschool. Thanks for watching.